This is Coach Lee with myexpatcoach.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about whether or not no contact should be permanent. I know there are other coaches out there who suggest that no contact is permanent, and I want to just push against that a little bit and give you some different things to think about and share some of my opinions. Please take just a second to click the button below and subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified when I have more content that's helpful to your situation and to attraction and relationships in general. So, some people say that no contact should be permanent, that when someone breaks up with you, you should never ever reach out to them again unless they reach out to you, and if they don't reach out to you, then you should just move on with your life and forget about them. It's a nice sounding theory, but in terms of the practical aspects of it, there's not that many, because sure, you could just move on with your life and forget about them. That's a strong thing to do. And if you want to do that, that's fine. More power to you. But the simple truth is that I have seen people get back together and have a successful relationship when the dumped person did the reaching out. And I know that to those of you who keep up with my videos and read my articles at myexpatcoach.com, that's a little surprising to you that I would say that the person who's been dumped could reach out and that it could work. So I need to explain a few things. First of all, there should be a no contact period. And I've explained that many times, and you can go look at some of my other videos that talk about why no contact is effective and how it's actually the mature and dignified thing to do, and that I don't see it as a game. I see it as a mature, dignified response to being broken up with. When someone asks you or tells you that they want you to get out of their life, that they don't want you in their life anymore, the mature thing to do, the reasonable thing to do, is to back away and to give them their space, because it shows them you're a good listener. It shows them that you can take no for an answer and that you're not going to force yourself into their life when they don't want you there. It also allows them to miss you and to experience the breakup and see whether they really like it or not. Most of the time, if you had a good relationship with them, then they're not going to like being away from you. They're going to miss you. They're going to experience separation anxiety. And so no contact can be very effective because of that. However, as I explained in one of my videos that's actually called "Did No Contact Not Work Because I Haven't Heard From My Ex?", I explained that sometimes an ex is just not sure of your response, and ironically, they might fear your rejection. So your ex who broke up with you could be thinking that if they reach out, that you will respond in anger, in bitterness, or that you will reject them or tell them never to contact you again. And some people, especially if they have anxiety issues, or if they've had bad relationships before, or if their family relationships weren't that good, that's kind of how they might see things, that they would see that you could never forgive them, that you're mad at them, that kind of thing. Or they could think that you have moved on and that there's no point in contacting you. They could also be stubborn in that they don't want to be the ones to give in, but they truly do miss you. And that's where you have to decide if you want to reach out to them or not. You're not messing things up. You're not making yourself look weak just because you happen to reach out to someone. You can be confident and bold and casual and simple when you reach out to them. I'm not suggesting that you would reach out and say, "I've missed you so much, would you please consider taking me back?" I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that after you have given no contact enough time to do you good, that is, you've been able to demonstrate you can back off, you've been able to let them have accumulated time of missing you and not having the relationship, that's where no contact can be beneficial. And it also, since you're not blowing up their phone and bugging them, it means that when you do reach out, that they are not sitting in an annoyed state and thinking, "Oh, he's contacting me," or "She's contacting me again, good grief." If they're not annoyed by you because you haven't been reaching out, then they will be receptive when you do reach out, and it's seen as maybe even welcomed, usually even welcomed, unless you two were really, really mad at each other. And even then, no contact helps with that, because sometimes the best thing you can do is shut up. We hear self-proclaimed relationship experts pee all over themselves about how important communication is. And that, "Oh, you're just not communicating." Sometimes you're communicating too much. And sometimes the best thing you can do is just be quiet and let things settle down. Let healing happen. Let silence be the best medicine. So you don't have to just constantly be having a conversation to have a healthy relationship. That's a myth. And a lot of couples would do themselves a favor if they would just embrace quiet sometimes. And that is what no contact can do. It can allow for healing, for the smoke to settle, for emotions to soften, anger to soften. So it's a good thing in that way. And if you choose to reach out, you have a more receptive audience. And especially if your ex thinks that you would reject them, or that you have moved on, or if they are just experiencing anxiety about reaching out, because as you have probably learned, it's very nerve-wracking to reach out to your ex or to talk to them when there's been some difficulty, when there's been a breakup. You feel nervous, you feel anxious. Some people talk about it's difficult to breathe. And if your ex has realized their mistake, they are going through these things as well. Now, many times, even in the majority of cases, no contact will cause your ex to reach out. That doesn't mean it will happen in your case. I'm just saying, in the majority of cases, that's what I observe. And there are other coaches who would agree to that. But that does not mean it happens every time, because this is not pure mathematics. Mathematics are on your side because the majority of times it does work, as I have said. But that does not mean that it will work in your situation. It just means the odds are good. If it doesn't, you have to be strong and react to that. And so if it's been a month and a half, 2 months, and you haven't heard from your ex, you have a decision to make. You can not ever talk to them again, like some of these people say you should do, and you should just move on with your life. And I respect that. That's a fine thing to do. Just know that that's your decision. It could also be your decision that you could just bite the bullet and reach out and see what happens, because sometimes sparks can be recreated. You can get a face-to-face meeting with them, and that's where you can really achieve the most good. And you know what? People get back together that way. It may shock some of you because some of the videos out there from other coaches act as though it's just a complete waste of time to reach out if they haven't contacted you during no contact, and that's just not true. It's a nice sounding theory, but I don't base things on theory. I base things on what actually work. That's just how my mind operates. And I'm not going to sit here and just get excited about something because I like the way it sounds. I'm going to tell you the truth. So if it's been a month and a half or 2 months, again, there's not a magic day or a magic time frame. It just is what it is. You can decide to reach out and just see what they say. Just lay it out there and see what happens. That's what strength is. You have to understand that there are consequences you may not like, and they may not respond to you. But my question is, what have you lost? You're broken up, you haven't heard from them. If you reach out and you don't hear anything else from them, you've lost nothing. But the potential is there that they could respond and be happy to hear from you. And you could say, I'd like to see you, when are you free to get together? And you two could have lunch together, you could have coffee together, you could talk. And they could remember what they liked so much about being with you. And they can also think that they have hated the time they have not had you. And you two could get back together. So the answer, in my opinion, to the question of, is no contact permanent? It's up to you. You can schedule a coaching call with me and we can talk about this and your situation as related to it. Just visit myexpatcoach.com and click the button that says book coaching call. That's myexpatcoach.com. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you like this video and if it was helpful to you. And you can be notified when I have other content on breakups or on attraction and relationships in general. This has been Coach Lee with myexpatcoach.com. Thank you for watching.